Now, I know that this is going to be a shock to a lot of you, and I think it's something that I just need to say. I'm not cisgender. If that sounds interesting to you and you're not already a patron, there's the thing. Let's talk about coming out on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Jay. I make videos about media. Anything goes. It can be a real estate agent's tour of a house. And then since then, I've been confident that I'm trans, but also vaguely confused. So, like, the film Mulan, which is a trans icon film. Someone on Tumblr went, but, wow, so we've just got to accept your word as best. And I'm like, yes. Yes, you do. Sorry, I'm the main authority on this.
I'm James Stephanie Sterling. I produce videos, primarily the Jimquisition, and over time I've introduced more and more anti-capitalist concepts into it. Also, I chokeslam people. So I used to talk about having a hormonal imbalance because that was the only way I could describe the physical femme features I already had. When I do my training, I would wear women's clothes. They fit me better. I thought that was it. Well, no, I didn't, because part of me was always, I always picked up there wasn't something quite cis about you. Cis is what I was. I was like, at least wait till I get my new hat. It took a year to get finished, but I couldn't wait that long. And before the video was published, it seemed like some transphobes had worked out what was going to happen and started pre-abusing me, pre-harassing. I couldn't put on the man costume anymore until really all I did was add a wig to it. And that, yeah, people took notice of that. Date was when I started losing subscribers en masse. It was 2,000 that day, and every Monday since has been well, let's say the other way around, 1 to 2,000. I came out, and then the subs went woof. Don't know why they draw the line at me being happy and they didn't at Pogfucker. The audience that's been left is so overwhelmingly queer or queer inclusive. I'm not sure if there was a cis person among them. I feel like I'm finding my people more and more, even as I'm losing the capital G gamers more and more. The hardcore gamers, the stereotypical ones, and there's a lot of them, are notorious for being angry at the slightest bit of inclusion. And that's been borne out among a large chunk of my previous audience. And they are now departing, and I am now famous for attacking gamers. That's the new thing I'm known for. I hate all gamers now is the common belief. I got a lot of questions about whether this was a joke or serious. Taking estrogen for a goof is quite a level of commitment. Whenever I've talked about trans issues on my channel, they always got the most dislikes, the most pushback, the most insults in comments. There was one video in particular of a game called, I don't really want to use the name, but it was T-Slur Gladiator. So my coming out tweet has actually been deleted. Because I just don't want people to refer to it. Some people innocently, others just looking for an excuse. I'm glad that I just kept it casual, that I never made a big deal of it. I think my work will remain largely the same. I think the only change people have noticed that I certainly agree with is that I'm just happier and more energetic and more there. But now I can't and wouldn't want to hide how happy I am with who I am.
My name is May Leitz. I'm a YouTuber focusing on horror movies and my, I guess, kind of the macabre side of life. I try to lead people into the worst darkness they can imagine. I was 7 years old and I asked my mom for Christmas. I said, "Mom, I want Pokemon Crystal." And it was the reason I really, really wanted it because it was the first Pokemon game where you could actually play as a girl. Immediately decided to pick a girl because, duh, being 17 and realizing once again that you're trans, and then being 21 and once again realizing that you're trans, and then being 24 and once again realizing that you're trans. I'm more thankful to the brave soul that once existed in my body that was able to do that, than I am critical of that person. I feel like that person saved my life. When I came out, it was a very different world. It was like right off the coattails of like Gamergate, encouraging me not to be like too leftist about it, which is kind of absurd. I frequently get comments on videos older than the truth about how like those were the before times, before I lost my mind and decided to become this monster. I treat art as kind of like a bowel movement. Right at the beginning, you're going to get a lot of, "Hey, cool, good for you." And then you're slowly over the course of time going to steadily lose a lot of those people. I probably would have been more successful had I not come out. I think people would rather me be who I am than who I was nowadays. Whereas back then, I think they probably would have preferred me to stay the same. So transitioning for me was largely like accepting the truth of the whole world. Don't do the thing that capitalism tells you to do.
I'm Jesse Gender. I'm a YouTuber that likes to use nerddoms, geekdoms, and mostly Star Trek, because Star Trek is the best thing, to talk about LGBTQ and specifically transgender issues, but also some social and political issues as well. When play tag with other people, if I lost the tag game, I would be like, "Oh, I have to wear a girl's dress." And so, of course, I would lose the game repeatedly. And then I would have to put on a dress in front of other people. I would remember, like, I would put on the dress in the bathroom and just like really enjoy it. The person that I wanted to be was laughable. And I met two friends who were so like openly bisexual, openly like talking about sex and all this stuff. I had just had gender confirmation surgery, vaginoplasty. Oh, like, what does it feel like to have a new vagina at 20 years old? What it's like to go through a new puberty at 20 years old. I've never been shy about sharing photos of myself or images of myself. I'm a huge geek. I'm a huge dork. Let's talk about Star Trek. Let's talk about Doctor Who. Let's talk about Stargate. Let's talk about whatever the hell, Star Wars. And then let me add my perspective as a trans person into it when it's relevant, or when I think it has something interesting to say. "Oh, you'll never be a woman." You got your stock phrases, and that's about it. I still love Star Trek, but I also understand Star Trek is a thing made up of, mostly cisgender straight white dudes.
So whatever thoughts you might have, comments, not personal attacks, I really shouldn't have to say that one at this point, but go ahead and leave your thoughts down in the comment section and we'll talk about it.